You can train 5 days a week, you can train 6 days a week, you can train hard, push every set to failure, and you still won't make progress in the gym if you're not doing this one thing. I'll let you guess what this thing is. If you guess sleep, then you're correct. Sleep is the foundation of good health. It's how you replenish your energy. It's how you remember things you've learned throughout the day, and it's how you build muscle. It's how you actually build the muscle that you're tearing down your muscles inside of the gym to build. Only happens when you sleep. So you must be prioritizing your sleep and sleeping enough. Otherwise, you're just not going to see results. Even if your nutrition is dialed in, your training is dialed in, you're training hard, you're training consistently. If you're not sleeping enough, if you're consistently getting under 6 hours of sleep, if your sleep is irregular, you're not going to see the results that you want, and that's a big problem that we have to fix. So how do you actually get enough sleep? Well, the first thing is you need to set a bedtime. Everyone talks about waking up early, and that's great, and that's what I do myself. But more important than the time you wake up, let's say it's 5 a.m., is the time you go to bed. Because if I want to wake up at 5 a.m. but I go to bed at 12, well, that's not good. I'm only getting 5 hours of sleep. So if I want to wake up at 5 a.m., I have to set an alarm for 9 p.m. and I have to be in bed by that time. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to actually get the sleep that I need, which is vital for muscle growth, repairing any injuries that I might have, whatever it is, retaining the information that I've learned from reading, from learning throughout the day. But I only get this if I sleep those 8 hours. So this is why you need to allocate a minimum of 8 hours to bed. And what do I mean by allocate time to bed? Well, usually for most people, when you get into bed, you're not gonna fall asleep straight away. You might be like me and you can fall asleep pretty quickly, or you might be one of those people that stays up, eyes open for 30 minutes, 1 hour every single night. And you're not sleeping during that time. So just being in bed for 8 hours doesn't mean you're sleeping for 8 hours. So you want to allocate as much time for bed as possible. Me personally, I can fall asleep very easily because I'm usually very tired by the end of the day. But if you're not like me, you might want to allocate 9 or even 10 hours a night to being in bed to optimally sleep enough so you can actually get the muscle recovery and get all of your gains. But that's something you have to individually decide. But what I do is I just work myself hard. I really do. I train hard in the gym, I do my cardio, I go for my runs. When I do this, when I stop sitting for so long in the day, when I'm up and out, when I'm out in the city, when I'm walking around, I'm not static, I'm not sitting on the couch all day. It becomes easy to fall asleep because you're genuinely exhausted, you're genuinely drained by the end of the day. But this only happens if you actually do things within your day. If you sit at home, sit on a chair like I am right now all day, you're not going to be able to fall asleep at night because you haven't done anything to tire yourself out. Chances are if you're watching this video, you're already consistent in the gym, and that's great, but that's not enough. You have to go outside, get some sunlight, shock your system, take a cold shower, do all these things to really tire yourself out. So by the end of the day, you're so tired and you can fall asleep easily. Every single night when I get into bed, I feel this sense of instant relaxation. My spine decompresses, I feel a lot more comfortable, and it just puts me in a state and I can fall asleep so easily. But I only feel like this because I push myself hard in the gym. I push myself hard throughout my day, and I actually do stuff in my life which allows me to actually feel tired towards the end of the day. But there's one more thing you can do to make sure you feel more tired towards the end of the day, and that's to spike your cortisol early in the morning. Cortisol is your stress hormone, but it also alerts you. It makes you awake. We have high cortisol in the morning because that's how we wake up and don't fall asleep as soon as we open our eyes. But if you spike your cortisol earlier in the day, it's going to naturally be a lot lower towards the end of the day. I don't know the science, but that's just exactly how it works. So what does this mean? If you wake up at 5 a.m. and go for a run, you do a cold plunge, you take an ice cold shower, you go to the gym, whatever you do. But if it's something that shocks your body, alerts your system, and spikes your cortisol later on in the day when you're relaxing, when you're winding down, when you're having your tea, whatever you do for your night routine, you're gonna feel a lot more tired just because of how this hormone works. So if you can spike your cortisol earlier in the day, as early as possible, you'll naturally feel tired earlier and you'll be able to fall asleep easier, which will allow you to wake up the next day at the same time. And this thing is all about consistency. Whatever time you commit to waking up at, whether it's 10 a.m., which I wouldn't recommend, or if it's 7 a.m., 5 a.m., 4 a.m., make sure you stick to it. Make sure it's something you can realistically commit to for the next 90 days. In one of my previous videos, I've spoken about following a plan, a 12-week year, committing to something for 12 weeks. So whatever time you choose, stick to it for the next 12 weeks. After 12 weeks, you can change it. Maybe you want to wake up a bit later, a bit earlier, but just commit to a time right now. Just commit to it. And then once you do that, you know what time you need to go to bed and everything falls into place. But make sure you don't skip days. Make sure you really try and make this as tangible as possible, and make sure you follow the steps so it's as simple for you to do as possible. You can get into a routine, your body can get used to it, and then you fall asleep nice and early and you can wake up as early as you like. I hope in this video I've really conveyed my point of how important sleep is for muscle growth, recovery, and just general health. So start prioritizing your sleep. It's great that you're getting dialed in with your nutrition and your training, but you also need to prioritize sleep. But if you are struggling with your training, your nutrition, you're trying to get bigger, you're trying to put on muscle, but you don't want to get fat, check out the top link in the description where you get my free program to help you gain your first 10 pounds of lean muscle over the next 90 days. It's already working for so many guys inside of the program, and you're next. So go join at the top link in the description and I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.